Did you have any rough times? I'm sure.
Of course, everybody has rough times.
But you guys were in love until the end, right?
Until the end, yeah.
And that probably hit you like a fucking brick.
Yeah, I mean, I
Was
was
it suddenly when he had a heart
I was
attack?
doing the Frighteners when he had the heart attack. And so I flew back. They did his angioplasty. He came through it. He was going home the next day. He said, honey, you've got to fly back. They're holding filming for you. I'm fine. So I did. 4 days later, he got up, a blood clot hit his heart, and he died, and my little girl found him. Gabrielle found him. So I flew back to do his service. And then I picked up my kid and my nanny and flew. I was back, it's halfway across the world, Australia or New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
And I was back and forth 4 times in 2.5 weeks.
I
didn't know whether I was coming or going.
How did you even?
I don't know.
I would have I mean, I don't know what I would have done. You don't know until you're in that situation.
Peter said, Dee, we never expected you. They had figured out how to shoot around me and shoot from my back. And
would you break down out of the blue? Constantly? Was it constant, like you couldn't handle your emotions?
Yeah,
I know.
No, I was taught by my mother, watching how she handled all the stuff with my father. I mean, he tried to commit himself twice, tried to kill himself twice, and finally succeeded behind a bar when I was a senior in high school. And she was so strong. And she just taught me, you handle it. You handle what you handle. And you get through what you have to get through. So I got back there and I went to the set. I had to shoot the scene where Michael J. Fox or I drop dead and we go through the wormhole.
Yep.
And I watched Michael, and before he hit the floor, he turned into Chris.
Wow.
And afterwards, the producer came to me and she said, Dee, I want you to go see my doctor so that she can make sure, that you're emotionally okay. And I walked in and this lady looked at me and she said, oh my God. They're very into alternative medicine. And she said, you have no life force at all. I can't even work on you until I work on your life force. And I had already been kind of veering into the healing arts. But she laid me down on a table and she put gemstones on all my chakras. And I thought, well, this is pretty weird,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, in a half an hour, I felt like I was reborn. And then she gave me some homeopathic medicine. And there was somebody on the set that was supposed to give me 3 every 3 hours or whatever it was. And everybody, just rallied around me and got me through that. Took care of my daughter. She was only 7 years old. And I remember she was there when I was practicing flying in the harness. And she said, oh, Mommy, I want to fly like Peter Pan. And they made her a little harness so she could go up in it. Michael would play Foursquare with her.
Oh, my gosh.
And so at the end of the Frighteners, because they just, this was 4 business class flights back and forth in 2.5 weeks. And they said, don't worry, Dee, we'll take care of it. You can settle up at the end of the movie. Well, it would have been more, I think, than my whole salary. And I went in to pay it off. And
Oh,
sorry,
no.
the bookkeeper looked at me and she said, this is Peter's gift to you. He's just going to absorb all of this. And that's the kind of guy Peter Jackson
Are you
is.
kidding me?
Yeah.